first of all, Conor is one of the most charismatic guys, seriously, of all time in all sports, no doubt about it. I mean, he is a fucking marketing machine. Like just the quotes and his style,
Joe, his
the way
tweet.
his
I don't mean to
flair.
interrupt you, but his tweet is the biggest tweet by an athlete this year.
Yeah,
beat Kobe Bryant's retirement tweet.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
Well, that brings up the thing that's going on this week with Conor McGregor. We got caught off guard last episode. Jamie and I were talking, just out of nowhere, it was just breaking news, and Jamie brought it up that Conor announced his retirement, and I said I thought he was trolling.
You and I had the exact same reaction.
I was like, he's trolling. He's
I was like,
around.
no, look at this. It's all weird. He'd be more, eloquent than that. He would have put it out better than that. But
and then the news started coming out, and I also started thinking, well, maybe something happened in training, or maybe it was because of that guy that died recently, and people were saying, they were shocked that I didn't know the full details on the guy's death. Honestly, with things like this, it's going to happen, and it's unavoidable. There's a certain amount of risk involved in any extreme sport.
Plus, that's the exception.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. That's the exception. That's like being mad at peanut butter when someone dies. It's like I'm still going to eat peanut.
It is the exception, but I was waiting for all the details to come out. I don't think they've done an autopsy yet. They don't think they know. Exactly
I don't either. I didn't think that with Conor. And I don't know if I don't think it's sharing too much information. When Conor and I had lunch together, I was just talking about it, and he kept bringing up, it's a reoccurring theme when we were talking. He goes, the media, man, for this, it's such a beast. Yeah. He's like, I've done interviews before, but, it's different. He's not a guy where when any other fighter sit down and do an interview, they're really not selling the fight. They're talking about their camp, and they're doing the same thing over and over. Mm-hmm. Conor's a fucking master that we've never seen do it before. So he's coming up with original content nonstop. He's on, when he came on our podcast, he did the whole car wash. He was exhausted. And then when he came down, you could tell him he was thinking and just started spitting out gold. He's just a beast, man. So to have that guy fly around the world and do all this shit, I mean, at the end of the day, we got to remember, this is a sport. This is not the WWE. So to keep putting on the spectacle like it's similar to WWE, at some point you got to say, man, what these guys do is, it's a real, we're in the hurt business. He has to focus, man. And I just feel like, I think Conor's to blame too. Dana's to blame. I think both of them just need to talk. Because if Conor before is bad playing on him, bad playing on Dana, if he just went, dude, listen, I've sold this fight more than anyone, man. This is nuts. I have to. If I lose this next fight, I'm screwed.
The problem is it sets a precedent now. If I'm looking at it as a businessman, if I was a businessman, let's pretend. Okay. I would say this sets a precedent. You can't let someone decide what press they do and what press they don't do. You have an obligation to fulfill certain responsibilities, like with the media.
For sure. Like create hype.
But the question is, when do those responsibilities move into a purely digital realm? And when do those responsibilities only in showing up places physically, old school, retro, going places? Because there's nothing wrong with the occasional press conference, right?
No.
But also, you could accomplish way more with a few fucking viral videos than you ever could going to some weird interview with two people that aren't MMA fans. And I think he made a really good point about that, doing these morning shows that they make them go do, where nobody knows who the guy is or the girl.
No,
they don't give a shit about MMA.
Clicks.
Yeah, they don't want to talk to him the way you want to talk to him or I want to talk to him. When I'm talking to Conor before a fight, I'm trying to find out what's going on in the head of a guy who's going to engage one of the most exciting things that I'm going to see all year.
No, you're not going on a morning show going, how about that cauliflower, huh? How'd you get that? Shut the fuck up. But
the
also,
girls like that.
Oh, I know. But Conor's a guy where he's crossed over into pop culture. He's such a big star now. A tweet from him will hype the fight. I guarantee if Conor and Dana had a conversation and Dana was like, all right, man, I understand it's a big fight. Because you got to remember, if you were to lose this one, now you're losing your golden boy, the biggest star by far. By far.
I also feel
if he could just focus, let's just let him.
The luster gets taken off by the Nate Diaz fight. And if he loses to Nate Diaz, he's got a very good point that, he can't lose because he wasn't given the right amount of opportunity to present or to prepare himself because he had to do all this press shit.
Right now, the Conor McGregor fan base and guys hugging his nuts, which I might be one of them. But they're going, well, Nate Diaz is way bigger, and he kind of caught him off guard. Well, all that good, and there's a little asterisk, I guess, if you're this Conor guy. Well, now, if he loses again, there's no more excuses. We're kind of fucked.
There's no asterisk. Nate had 11 days
I'm not saying
to
that.
prepare.
I'm saying you could. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying there is. Nate straight up beat him with 11 days preparing, sipping Coronas on a boat, and came and whipped his ass.
I thought Nate was going to beat him just by, first of all, the size and length and deceptive boxing skills. That's what I thought. I was like, this is going to be the first guy that Conor's ever fought that's been in wars with legends. I mean, he's been in there with a lot of fucking super high level dudes.
He's a monster, man.
He's a monster. I'm like, this is a big fight, and this is not a fight you want to take, even if he's not ready on 11 days' notice. You got to get ready for this dude. And his jiu-jitsu's off the chain, man. His jiu-jitsu is at a super high level.
Chin. He's bigger than Conor. There couldn't be a worse matchup right now.
Spars with Andre Ward, world champion, and Joe Schilling on a regular basis.
I know, man.
And his brother Nick.
I know. Gilbert Melendez, Jake Shields.
No joke. No joke. Dangerous fucking fight, man.
It's horrible. It stresses me out.
It's a fucking dangerous fight.
But the guy who we're not talking about in all this is Nate Diaz. Because even though if Nate Diaz, and you guys can say whatever you want, UFC 200 is still going to be dope. I get that. That's all fun and dandy for the absolute fans. If there's no Conor, Nate doesn't make the same payday.
You're right.
So he gets fucked, man.
You're right.
And I want to see a guy like the dues that Nate has paid. And remember, the Diaz brothers were the first guys to go, no, fuck that, man. I don't think it should be done that way. And you got to appreciate that, man. In a land full of fucking sheep, they were the first kind of wolves to go, no, fuck that, man. This ain't right.
Well, they're also the first guys to put a ridiculous emphasis on extreme cardio.
Yes. And it shows in their style.
Yeah, I mean, like Nick doing marathons and triathlons. And it's funny, I keep quoting this, and Nick corrected me the other day. I said that he swam back from Alcatraz twice. He just corrected me the other day. He goes 5 times now.
It's fucking nuts.
5 times. He swam from Alcatraz to the fucking mainland. They didn't think you could do that. They didn't think it was possible. That's why they put a prison there, because they didn't think people could swim. Well, this motherfucker is a stoner and an athlete. He's not even a prisoner.
Don't lock that dude. I'm gonna swim right the fuck out.
How crazy!
If you have a bunch of guys like him in prison, but
how crazy are people these days?
Dude,
they're doing things for recreation.
Oh my god. The only guy who could bring Nate Diaz money is George St-Pierre.
George St-Pierre. Yeah,
now,
I agree.
I think we might be getting honey-dicked if George St-Pierre does happen to just show up at UFC 200. It's like, wait a second.
Well, George has openly said that he wants to go through a camp and decide whether or not he could do it at the end of it.
He's done it.
Did he go through the prep camp?
That's what I heard.
When did you hear this? You got the inside scoop, dog.
I mean, I know he's been training a shitload, and I know he doesn't care about belts or anything. He just wants to take the fight. You know what the holdup is?
What?
Reebok.
That's awful. Oh.
Well, you're George St. Pierre, sponsored by Under Armour, and then how many fights do you have? And Reebok's and like, yeah, here's whatever, 50 grand, wear these Reebok pumps. He's like, what the fuck? No, man, I'm George St. Pierre. So he's saying either the UFC has to make up for it in his purse or Reebok has to make up for it. So I think it's a money thing right now.
Really? That's what you hear? Is this an inside scoop?
I don't know, man.
I think we just scooped the shit out of this story.
I don't know. That's what I hear.
Well, I've been hearing rumblings of negotiations, but it's one of those things you don't want to hope. You want to just wait. But also,
he's the only guy who can save the card.
Well, he would most certainly save the card. Oh my God. You know what would be crazy? Would be him and Conor.
I mean, that's him and Conor at Madison Square Garden.
There's not enough seats there.
No, there'd be full of just fucking
GSP versus.
It'd look like the Oscars. It'd just be this crowd full of celebrities. Regular folk can afford the tickets,
especially if you get angry. GSP that wanted to punish BJ Penn. GSP.
I think it's gonna be tough to bring him out, but yeah.
Didn't like
you talking about Rush?
Disrespect.
You talking about Rush?
Yeah,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
He was a motherfucker.
Oh, GSP was one of the weirder guys because he was such a nice guy at all times. But when guys fucked with him, there was this switch that would go off in that head, and he would go on seek and destroy mode, and he was so good at it, man. When he fucked up BJ, he fucked up Fitch. You watch those fights, and you just go, that is arguably the greatest welterweight of all time.
I agree.
I mean, his ability to mix up the strikes and the takedowns, we never knew what the fuck was going on. His constant victories in the scrambles, and the BJ fight too, where he was punishing BJ. He wanted to punish him, and when he beat him down and didn't stop them, and then walked over to the wall and fucking punched it afterwards.
That's the motherfucker that we need. Yeah. Now, does he come back, or do we get that safe GSP? Because a safe GSP versus Conor, I'm not trying to see that.
There's a long time gone. Who knows? Isn't
it weird? We're talking about GSP and BJ Penn's coming back too.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see what that looks like. BJ's fighting Dennis Seaver, and he's been at Jackson Winklejohn's camp for quite a while now. Man. So I'm assuming they're not letting him cut any corners.
Oh, no.
They're really running him through the real paces.
Yeah, if you're at Jackson's, there's no cutting corners. If you do, you're just getting your ass mollywopped in there. You wouldn't be there that long.
Right.
You get back on a plane and go home.
And why would he? He's been living out there for quite a while now.
From Hawaii to Albuquerque, he better be pretty legit.
GSP negotiating UFC return, but Reebok deal considered as roadblock. Yeah, there's a story. Yeah, man, I don't know. Just this whole thing bums me out.
It's complicated.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But man, that would be the 200 to end it.
Well, I think you save him for Madison Square Garden. Fuck 200.
Do you think that would be Nate versus GSP if Conor doesn't do the card? So Conor's not on the card anymore. He's off.
Well,
the card.
today he said, I'm down to fight. He even goes, I will fly to New York and do a press conference, but then I got to go back. So he's given a little wiggle room. I think it's time to drop the egos, come to an agreement, and save 200 and let Conor fight Nate.
Wait a minute. Is Brendan Schaub the reasonable one? How is this possible?
Weird.
Dude, how is this possible?
Fucking ketogenic diet.
The keto kid. He's super positive. He's clear-minded.
I like everyone.
And I hope they work that out for UFC 200. It'd be an even better story if they worked it out.
I bet you they do. Guarantee they do. I would almost guarantee they do.
Or they do a GSP Nate Diaz fight.
Then we got honey dicked. And then something smells fishy.
Something smells fishy?
For sure. If GSP's like, what? Hey, I've been training.
What if they come with the cash? They come with that fucking Reebok makeup money.
I bet you the Reebok makeup money. Here's a set of Reebok pumps and $6 million. There you go.
Push it in.
Push it in.
We're all in for GSP for 2000.
I bet they figure it out.
Yeah.
I bet you Conor ends up fighting UFC 200. That's what I believe in, and I think Dana and the UFC brass is going to figure it out.
I think GSP Nate Diaz takes its place, and they use it as a negotiating tool because the pay-per-view numbers are bigger than any of the Conor fights because the UFC has in fact grown through their strategy.
See, I don't think the numbers beat Conor's.
What if they do?
Well, then then Conor's
GSP and Nate Diaz, that you're like, ooh, Conor fucked up.
Yeah, Conor fucked up. I don't think it beats his numbers up.